Hi, it's Z, and today is Saturday on Out of This Binary. This week, our topic is presenting, as in, like, your gender expression and how you physically present yourself to other people in terms of what is considered masculine, feminine, or neither. About me personally, the way I present is kind of feminine. And some people would look at that and say, well, if you dress like a girl, then why don't you just be a girl? But the reason why that's kind of ignorant and not getting the point is because gender expression is separate from your gender. Which is why you can have guys who dress really femininely and you can have girls who dress really masculinely, but that doesn't change the fact that they're a guy or they're a girl. So if I'm non-binary and I dress femininely, that doesn't change the fact that I'm non-binary and I'm not actually a girl. Keep that in mind. So if someone tries to make you feel bad or invalidate your gender because of your gender expression, don't let them get into your head because they're wrong, and you can express your gender in whatever way you want, and just because you dress in a way that's considered feminine or masculine doesn't mean that your gender is feminine or masculine. It's just the way that outside people perceive it. So that's a little bit about me. About presenting in general, everyone else's videos have a lot of good information, and I want to add to that instead of just repeating what they said, so you should probably go check out their videos after you're done with this one to see what they have to say too. But in general, presenting as a non-binary person it's kind of weird because in most societies nowadays, and our society, if I'm speaking about the US and, Western society, you didn't see my quotes, Western society, for most people, there is no concept of non-binary people. So a lot of the times when people are deciding how to present, a lot of people will choose how to present based on the goal of trying to pass as their gender. So like a trans guy would make sure to present masculinely because he wants to be seen as a guy. And that's one way to help him be seen as a guy. But it's really hard, like if you don't have like an idea in a society of being something, we can't really pass as non-binary because people don't know what non-binary is. So it seems to me that the closest that a non-binary person can get to passing is when people are looking androgynous, which means a mixture of male and female features or masculine or feminine fashion. So if someone looks androgynous, sometimes people will look and say, is that a boy or a girl? And it doesn't occur to them that it could be neither a boy or a girl, but they don't know or they're unsure. And that's really like the closest that we can get to passing, unless we're in a community of people who are knowledgeable about trans issues. Then that's a separate story. But if you want to look more androgynous or more feminine or more masculine, whichever you want to be perceived as by the unknowing public, there are some tips I can give you, mostly about clothes. So, one thing about shirts is the neckline can change how you are perceived a lot. So a neckline that like stops right here is really typical for guys t-shirts, you know, that are marketed for guys. And then so lower ones are marketed towards girls, and if you want to be perceived as more feminine, go for the lower necklines. You want to be perceived as more masculine, avoid them. Also things like how long a shirt is. Shirts that are meant for girls have vary in length a lot. So there are like crop tops, and then there are shirts which are almost dresses. But guys' shirts are always just a little bit enough to cover like the top of the crotch area, but it doesn't really go higher or lower than that. What else? I've heard that a scoop neck like this, you can't see me, sort like what I have going on, but I mean wider, like this. I've heard that can make your shoulders look smaller. I haven't tried it on myself or really like observed it, but that's what I've heard. Okay, so those are the, jewelry. So usually jewelry is considered a girl's thing, but if you like wearing jewelry but if you want to be perceived as more masculine, there are things you can do. For example, if you're wearing bracelets, instead of wearing like a typical bracelet which is pretty thin, wear thicker bracelets, sort of like, or maybe like a, what are they called? An armband, kind of like a sweat band or something like that. And sometimes like it's considered okay for a guy to wear maybe like a religious necklace, or like those like surfer necklaces that have like shells or like a shark tooth or are made of hemp or something like that. So if you want to wear jewelry but look more masculine, there's that. And as far as earrings, if you want to look more masculine in regards to earrings, just go for simple studs or like a hoop that's like, how do I say it? It's not bigger at any part than the other. I'm not sure if I'm getting it across. Anyway, so if you want to look more feminine, jewelry can really help because jewelry is considered a female thing. Of course, so it's pretty easy to get some jewelry, so I won't go on I won't go into more feminine jewelry because I think that you can figure it out. But I'd like to say that like these tips I'm giving are for people who want to look who want to change how they're being perceived by other people to fit their gender. But if you don't want to change the way you like to dress in order to make other people more likely to gender you correctly, then that's okay. Like, people should respect your gender even if they don't think that your presentation matches your gender. Like I said, I'm in a position like that. I like to dress kind of femininely, and most people would think that it's weird that I'm saying I'm not a girl, but I'm dressing like a girl. I'm using a lot of quotes in this video because I want to be clear that the way that society will perceive you isn't necessarily the way that you should be perceived or the way that you deserve to be perceived, which is as whatever gender you are. What else? Oh, hair. I wanted to talk about hair. So, I have a unique perspective on hair because most of the people, well, okay, there are no other black people on this channel. So I wanted to talk about black hair and black hairstyles because it's different. Like the history and the culture around black hair is different than it is around other people's hair. So, a lot of black guys, they either have really short hair, like really short, like much shorter than mine, or they have really long hair and they have it in a style like, usually it's dreadlocks. I've noticed that more guys with long hair have dreads than girls with long hair, and girls with long hair are more likely to have twists or braids or just wear it out than guys. So if you have long hair and you want to style it downwards but you want it to be kind of masculine, you could dread it. I'm a little bit hesitant to suggest that people dread their hair because unlike a lot of other style choices, it's pretty permanent unless you cut off all your hair. So just be sure that it's what you want. But, okay, so when you do have the hair styled downward, whether it's braids or dreadlocks or twists, instead of cutting it so that each lock of hair is the same length as all the rest of the hair, cut it so that on the top it's a little bit longer than on the bottom so that everything will fall to the same level when you have it down, and that's perceived as more masculine. Whereas if you want to have it all at the same length, and then it will come down and will give it a layered effect. So that's for long hairstyles. For shorter hairstyles, like hair that is this length, if my hair was straight, it would be considered pretty short, but since my hair is not straight and I have black hair, it's kind of approaching on the androgynous length. So from here to like maybe like here, or just like around here, it's kind of like you don't see many people, guys or girls, wearing it this length. Usually guys, if they don't have it really long, they won't grow it past like this much. And then if you get it longer, so it's like this and it's like an afro, that is considered pretty feminine. So having your hair out, whether it's like an afro or it's really long, it's considered a feminine thing. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with my video. Please do check out everyone else's videos on presenting where they cover topics like binding, tucking, makeup, how they personally present, and a bunch of other good stuff. So, I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.